All right, so we have a new book. I've never shown you guys this book. I've never read this book to you. But the title is My Mouth is a Volcano. So I want you guys to do what? When we're going to look at the cover, what are you guys going to try and do and tell me what this book is about? So you're making a what?
Volcano.
No, what are you doing? When you tell me what you think the story's about, what are we doing?
Your mouth is going to be a volcano.
Right, so we think his mouth is going to be a volcano. So you're making a what? What did I say this morning? A prediction?
Yeah.
What does that mean? When you're making a prediction about the book, what does that mean?
It means your mouth.
You're making a prediction based off the cover that his mouth is going to be a volcano, right? All right, now who can tell me what does the person that writes the words in the story, what do we call them? Almost, not quite. What's the other word? They write the words, so they are the author. So the person that draws the pictures is what?
The illustrator.
The illustrator. Go find a center. The illustrator, good. And what part of the book is this? What part of the book is this? Nope. What part of the book is this? Taylor, what part of the book is this?
I don't know.
We went over this. What part of the book is this?
The back.
The back. So this is what?
The front.
And what's this?
Spine.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to read this really quick. My mouth is a volcano. I don't know if his mouth is really going to be a volcano, but do you want to see? You ready? My name is Lewis. People say I erupt a lot. I don't think I do. I have a lot to say, and all of my words are very important to me. Just like when you guys want to say something, your words are important, right? When other people talk, words just pop into my head, then they slide down onto my tongue. My tummy starts to rumble, and then it starts to grumble. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? My words begin to wiggle, and then they do the jiggle. My tongue pushes all of my important words up against my teeth, and then, what does a volcano do? Erupt. He says, I erupt. Words just explode out of my mouth. My mouth is a volcano. Hey, guess what, guys? In class, my teacher says that when we want to say something, we are supposed to look at her, raise our hand, and wait until she calls on us. I tried that. After I waited patiently for what seemed like 62 years, my important words slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. My tongue pushed all of my important words into my teeth, and my volcano erupted. Look at him. He's yelling out everything he wants to say. My teacher was less than pleased, so she was not happy. She erupted me right back. I know what you're saying is important to you, but since it's not an emergency, you'll have to wait until I can call on you. It was my volcano's fault. At daycare, we were sitting on the rug listening to Miss Polly read us a story about planting trees. All of a sudden, I thought the time my grandpa and I planted 6 trees in our front yard. My important words slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. My tongue pushed all of my important words into my teeth, and then I erupted. Look at him. He's yelling everything he wants to say again. Is that a right choice or a wrong one?
Wrong one.
I got time out. It was my volcano's fault. During dinner, Mom and Dad were talking about paying the bills. Then I thought about my friend Bill. Bill can blow a bubble inside of a bubble when he chews 2 pieces of bubble gum. Now that is really important. My important words about Bill slid down from my tongue, slid down from my head onto my tongue. What do you think is going to happen? My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. My tongue pushed all of my very important words into my teeth, and my volcano erupted. Louis, my mom said, you interrupted again. If somebody else is talking and you don't have an emergency, you have to wait for your... But Mom, my words, they slid down from my head onto my tongue. Then my tummy starts to rumble. Louis, you did it again. Was his mom happy?
No.
Oh no. I got sent to my room. She said I was being rude. It was my volcano's fault. Oh boy, is Louis gonna learn? What do you think? Make a prediction. Is he gonna learn how to wait his turn?
No.
The next day at school was a very important day. I had been waiting for about 126 weeks to be my student star. This was my special moment. I got to share a poster with my class that had pictures of all of my favorite things. So he's happy now because he gets to be the student star. I stood up in front of my class and began to tell them about the time I went fishing. But guess what? Somebody else interrupted him. Halfway through my story, Richard started to tell everyone about when he went deep sea fishing in Mexico. His story must have been better than mine because everyone started to look at him. Sit down. He was stealing my important words. Richard, said my teacher, you just interrupted Louis. Please wait until he's finished talking and then he might call on you. I couldn't believe how rude that was of Richard. He erupted me. That really made me angry. After talking about my fishing trip, I started to explain the x-ray of my broken bone. Just as I was getting to the good part, Courtney started to tell the class about when she broke her leg. Courtney, said my teacher, you just interrupted Louis. Please wait until he is finished talking and then he might call on you. I couldn't believe how rude that was of Courtney. She started talking right during my 15 minutes of fame. Ask Miss April. Ask Miss Tasha. Ask Miss April. Ask a teacher. See? She ruined my important words. She almost stole my moment. So now other people are erupting and interrupting him. Does that make him happy?
No.
What does that make him feel?
Sad.
Sad or what?
Bad.
Yes. When I got home, I told my mom about rude Richard and rude Courtney. Now you know how we feel when you interrupt us, said my mom. I never thought about that. I just get so excited and my words, they just pop into my head. Then they slide down my tongue. My tummy starts to rumble and then it starts to grumble. My words begin to jiggle and then they begin to wiggle. Then my tongue pushes all of my important words to my teeth and I erupt. Words just explode out of my mouth. My mouth is a volcano. Good, Taylor. Maybe Richard and Courtney have volcanoes in their mouths too, my mom replied. I never thought about that. Well, the next time your important words are pushed into your teeth by your tongue, bite down hard and don't let them out. Then take a deep breath and push your words through your nose. Then when it's your turn to talk, take a deep breath and breathe them back into your mouth. Will that work? I asked. Only if you make it work, said Mom. And look, it worked. At dinner time, he waited for his sister because she was in the middle of a story, a very long story, and waited until she was finished. All the words from his head slid down to his tongue, but he closed his mouth shut and they didn't come out. As soon as my sister finished talking, I took a deep breath. Back in went my words. I was amazed that they had just hung around outside of my mouth and didn't float away. Then I told my story and nobody got mad at me. After that, I never erupted again. Well, except for the time Bill's bubble gum got stuck in my hair. But that was a real emergency. So you guys were able to make a prediction. I am not done. Based on the what? Cover of this book? And you told me what you thought the story.
My mouth is a volcano.
Yep. And what is that called? The
Rap.
title. Good. Great job.